In this edition of RPP News, a holey disaster in Seaford, good news for Frankston parkers, and it's time to get summer ready. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPP News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. At least 25 motorists are dealing with the consequences of hitting a large pothole in Seaford on Tuesday evening. The pothole appeared on the Frankston freeway at around 9:40 p.m. after heavy rains. According to news sources, at least 25 vehicles had flat tyres after driving over the hole. A video from Dashcam Owners Australia Facebook group shows a long queue of cars waiting to be towed away from the area. Luckily, no one was injured. It seems a high road toll isn't enough to deter some drivers, with 2 speeding arrests on the peninsula within 24 hours this week. A 24-year-old man was caught travelling 185 km per hour in a 100k zone on the Mornington Peninsula Freeway in Mount Martha on Tuesday morning at around 2:45 a.m. The Clyde man is expected to be charged with speeding and other related traffic offences. Then 24 hours later, a 21-year-old man was caught driving more than 80 km an hour over the speed limit at around 3:30 on Wednesday morning. This incident also took place on the Mornington Peninsula Freeway, this time in Dramana. The driver, who holds a probationary licence, was travelling at 181 km per hour in a 100 km zone. Officers immediately impounded both cars. That's 2 men who'll be glad of the new cross-peninsula bus when it arrives. Next week is Gambling Harm Awareness Week, and Mornington Peninsula Shire Councillor Despy O'Connor has revealed that electronic gaming losses are on the rise across the peninsula. Speaking ahead of next week's Gaming Harm Forum, Councillor O'Connor told RPP that the volume of local losses is alarming.
We got to 90 million last financial year of losses, and that's just, and I need to make sure that people understand this, that's just at the electronic gaming machines. That's not online gambling or betting or lottery. It's just electronic gaming machines, money that goes through the slot.
The Community Forum is taking place at 7 p.m. this coming Thursday the 12th at the Mount Eliza Community Centre. Frankston City Council has voted to maintain its 2-hour free parking policy. Although conceding that the policy will cost the council funds, Councillor Brad Hill says the 35,000 residents that currently use the service deserve to be looked after.
We need to be really clear, crystal clear, to anyone who wants to invest in Frankston or establish a business, a bar, a restaurant, whatever it is, that we want them to succeed and that we're prepared to do our bit too.
As part of summer preparations, burn-off restrictions on properties under 1,500 square metres have been lifted. Open burning is permitted on Fridays and Saturdays between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Shire contractors will begin works on fuel management zones within bushland reserves and on priority roadsides. During the declared fire danger period, contractors will also inspect private land for fire hazards. Now is the time to reduce bushfire risk on your property by cutting grass short, clearing gutters of leaf litter and removing fallen and dry vegetation. And this coming Thursday, the Frankston Arts Centre is hosting the launch of the 2023 Poetic Portraits Anthology. The book is a new collection of poetry exploring local community and connection, and a celebration of local poets in the Frankston area. There will be live performances, and contributors to the anthology will speak about what they explore in their poems. Poetic Portraits is funded by the Australia Council for the Arts and presented in partnership with RMIT Culture, Bowen Street Press, Frankston Arts Centre and Frankston City Council. After the break, we have David Robertson with the Bendigo Bank Monthly Market Update.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and breathe batteries, those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
With interest rates on the rise, there's never been a better time to review your home loan. And there's never been a better bank to help you. Whether you're a new or existing Bendigo Bank customer, Book an appointment for a home loan health check today.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Another RBA pause as expected in October, but growing expectations of rates higher for longer. Our latest thoughts for domestic and global markets. Michelle Bullock's first policy meeting as the new RBA governor followed a similar script to the previous three, with the no change decision statement almost unchanged from last month's, but still the warning that further tightening of policy may be required. Another hike to 4.35% as early as Melbourne Cup Day remains our expectation, as does our forecast that we've shared throughout the year that rate cuts will most likely be a 2025 story, not early to mid-24, and events over the past few weeks appear to support this view. While the focus for rates is often on official cash rates, term rates, including government bond yields, are just as important, and the recent surge in bond yields in the US is having a material impact on the markets, even while the US Federal Reserve and the RBA have kept rates on hold. The US 10-year has jumped to above 4.75%, its highest level since 2007, just prior to the GFC, and, as the chart shows, above our 10-year yield. This has a number of implications, beyond simply implying that the Fed will need to keep rates higher for longer. The value of the US dollar continues to strengthen, taking the Aussie dollar down to below 63 US cents. Equity markets are under pressure as valuations of future earnings are diluted. And the higher for longer theme makes soft landing scenarios harder to reconcile with the reality that taming inflation takes time and typically requires a deeper economic downturn. Inflation rates here and around the world are still expected to steadily moderate, but factors that will challenge the pace of normalisation include the rebound in property prices as supply fails to pick up versus population growth, resilient jobs markets as demand for labour remains persistent, and higher energy prices, even with government subsidies and support. The rebound in the oil price has mainly been driven by supply cutbacks, especially from Saudi Arabia and Russia, but global demand has also held up resiliently, and here the lower Aussie dollar means a higher cost for oil imports, so a higher price for petrol at the bowser. The demand side will be challenged by the global downturn, although China's stimulus measures are having some success, judging by their recent activity data. The next inflation data of note in Australia will be the third quarter numbers out on October 25th, and these are likely to continue to show falling costs for goods, but not for services. Services inflation continues to be stubbornly high around the globe, and here, tight labour markets, together with abysmal productivity, is a major factor. Our unemployment rate remained at 3.7% in August, despite the strong rebound in population growth. So, while the ongoing strength in labour markets is supporting the economy, this resilience simply means the RBA will need to keep its tightening bias intact for longer. To achieve real wages growth and a lower unemployment rate, we need a lift in productivity while also decreasing core inflation, which will all take time. In summary, the next move from the RBA is still more likely to be up than down, and the next read on inflation on October 25th will be critical. But markets are continuing to adjust to the rates higher for longer scenario and its implications. And that's the market update from Bendigo Bank.
Welcome back. We go now to Bianca for this week's weather.
Hello, I'm Bianca and welcome to this week's RPP weather update. Well, the weather hasn't been as warm as we were led to believe. Hopefully this week will be drier and warmer. Let's dive in and take a look at the weather for the week ahead. Today, Sunday the 8th of October, should bring us a mostly sunny day with no rain. We are looking at a low of 8 and a high of 15. Monday brings us a very cloudy day. We should feel a low of 6 and a high of 16. Tuesday sees much the same as Monday. We can expect a low of 7 and a high of 17. Wednesday sees this trend continuing with a low of 7 and a high of 22. Thursday also brings us clouds and sun. We should see a low of 12 and a high of 20. Friday sees a cooler day with possible morning rain, where we will feel a low of 4 and a high of 18. And finally, Saturday sees another cloudy day with a low of 8 and a high of 19. Well, that's all for this week. Try to enjoy the sun while you can, and I will see you again next week for another RPP weather update.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.
Thank you.